Hello, this is Daniel Thomas Andrew Daly. This is Noahide sermon. While the earth endures, God will always grant harvest. While the earth endures, God will always grant harvest. Okay. Reading from Genesis chapter 8, verse 18 and onwards. And Noah went forth and his sons and his wife and his sons' wives with him. Every beast, every creeping thing, and every fowl, and whatsoever creepeth upon the earth after the kinds, went forth out of the ark. And Noah built an altar unto the Lord, and took of every clean beast, and of every clean fowl, and offered burnt offerings on the altar. And the Lord smelled a sweet savour. And the Lord said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground any more for man's sake. For the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite any more every living thing as I have done. Of course, when Adam sinned, the ground had been cursed, and they have to work hard to bring forth anything from it. And we read here in verse 22, While the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. So here we have the basic promise that while the earth remaineth, and the covenant's everlasting, the Noahide covenant in Genesis 9 is everlasting, and the new heaven and the new earth, talked about in Isaiah 65, it says, I'll create Jerusalem a joy. It's generally the same Jerusalem, so it's more of a revival. So the implication from the rest of the Tanakh is that the earth is supposedly go on forever. A psalm says that it will be rolled up and wither away in a sense, but that's a psalm, and the Lord remains is basically what we're emphasizing there. But the new earth will remain before me, it says in Isaiah, and I think the words of a prophet are a bit more than the words of a psalm, you know. But anyway, while the earth remaineth, assuming it's going forever, seed time and harvest, and so on, shall not cease. Seed time and harvest shall not cease. I just thought I'll read Psalm 67. Let the people, from verse 5, let the people praise thee, O God, and all the people praise thee. Then shall the earth yield her increase, and God, even our own God, shall bless us. God shall bless us, and all the ends of the earth shall feed him. So in some translations, the earth shall yield its harvest. So, seed time and harvest shall not cease. Basically, God's promising the earth, not necessarily every area, because famine has been part of the world's makeup. Some places are affected by famine from time to time. So it's not a guarantee universally at all times, all over the world, in every place all the time, but generally the earth will always have its seed time and harvest. So what God is saying, that the seed of mankind, Noah's offspring, which replenishes the earth, will always have its food. There will always be food for mankind in a general sense. Seed time will always be there, and there will always be a harvest. There will always be fruits of a field for mankind to take nourishment from and to feed from. We don't have to work under a curse anymore. Food will always essentially be there. And I guess we know that if you're keeping faith in God, the promises of God generally are that He'll take care of you. There'll always be food for you if you serve in the kingdom of God. There'll always be nourishment. There'll always be something to do. There'll always be sustenance. Seed time and harvest shall not cease.